Remember when Dave used to air episodes of Robot Wars Extreme 2? Well, I do. In fact, I used to watch it on there all the time whenever it's on. And one series of episodes I fondly remember was the New Blood tournament. It was a novel idea, having new machines and rookies in a mini-series, as we got to see many unique designs and the birth of many new legends. However, as I got older and got involved with the Robot Wars fanbase, I've seen a general consensus being that the New Blood wasn't very good. Having recently rewatched the New Blood Championship, I'll determine if the tournament was as good as I remember it being, or if it was total bollocks. My name is TBB, and this is my look at the New Blood Championship. What better way to start than by looking at Heat A, and right off the bat the tone is set perfectly as the first robot to be introduced is Terror Turtle. Oh, no. But aside from them and the slow-moving, barely working Maximus, the field of robots isn't too bad. We see the debut of future semi-finalist Mute, as well as the return of Rhubarb and Mr. Nasty, who made it into the New Blood despite being competitors in Series 6, but we move. Both of these machines were solid additions, but neither of them compared to the likes of Knight Rider. Okay, they were kinda naff, but I love this thing. I have a thing for funny fodder robots, and this machine fits the bill. From the weird disemboweling spike, which I don't really get how it works, to the robot being a victim of one of the best drop zones in the entire series.
You're on TV!
Shut up, Jonathan. Not to mention, this heat has two very entertaining and memorable fights. The Heat's main final match between Mute and Mr. Nasty. Sure, the actual fight is nothing spectacular, but Sergeant Bash and the ref bot having a scrap was quality entertainment. But the Heat final between Mute and Rhubarb is an excellent fight. It is a shame that as a result of the New Blood's reputation, this match has gone under the radar. A great close encounter where both machines got to show off what they were capable of, and not to mention this near Uta. Look at that. Surely the rest of the Heats can live up to that one, right? Sadly, this is where everything goes downhill. And I hate saying that, as we get to see Jason Marston with 4 and Shane Swan with Hell's Teeth. Two entertaining Roboteers who have gone to become mainstays of the reboot. We also get Edgehog, who would actually go on to be runners-up at the Dutch Robot Games 2003. So with that being said, it is a shame that this heat is so forgettable. Yeah, the first round melees featuring two funny fodder robots, which I love. Knight Raider losing one side of its drive in the bloody intro will never fail to give me a good chuckle. Sadly though, laughing at bad robots that are admittedly leagues better than anything I could ever dream of making is where my excitement ends, as the Heat semi-finals and Heat finals can be summed up as: the hammer robot hits the robot a couple of times. The other robot dies. The end. No matter the weapon type, one-hit KOs are never entertaining, kind of more just disappointing, whether it's Hypnodisc Rhubarb, Perfect Phoenix Extinguisher, or in the case of this episode, 4 versus Chip. It's just sad. What a shame. Yeah, this heat kind of sucks. I mean, Storm 2, you can't deny is an entertaining machine, but its dance partners this heat they just died. I will admit Storm 2 versus Chopper was an excellent KO, but that's about it. In fact, let's talk a little bit more about Chopper here. I don't know what on earth this robot was doing, but the fact that they never appeared again is a crime. I mean it. This is up there with Piece de Resistance in the category of robots that perform terribly, but in the funniest way possible. In its opening melee, it immediately drives into the CPZ and gets its weapon destroyed by Matilda. Incredible driving. 10 out of 10 stuff, lads. Chopper versus ICU versus Mad Dog as a melee was just a garbage fight, really, but it's peak comedy. From the Mad Dog team at the beginning saying that their robot is better than Chaos Stew before doing literally the equivalent of nothing in the melee. ICU just aimlessly drove around, and Chopper, well, I already spoke about them. Not to mention the worst drop zone ever, as the balls just completely missed. This match has no right to be good, but it is way too funny for me. Aside from that though, this heat is definitely the weakest of the tournament. I mean, Revolution 2 looked cool, but did nothing. Direct Action looked cool, but did nothing. Storm 2 is cool, but its opponents were nothing. This heat is just nothing. This heat isn't actually too bad. In fact, I really enjoy it. Yeah, sure, the opening melees were quite dire. Bash Gordon having lost one-sided drive just... I'm gonna let Craig explain this one.
Bash Gordon commits suicide.
And in the other melee, we see the return of Anderson 932's favourite robot of all time, Dr. Fist. He unsubscribed, didn't he? That being said though, the Heat semi-finals in this heat were really fun fights. Seeing a Plywood Fatal Traction get absolutely battered by Cedric Slammer is entertaining, and then it is followed up by Piranha versus Pressure. Admittedly a slow-paced fight, but one I enjoy, as it's a very close fight between two very different machines. Oh, and talking of Pressure versus Piranha, we get one of those moments that I can't help but laugh at.
Is this the Roboteer of the future? You're saying that just before he goes into battle.
This lad is a potential trophy winner. Maybe not now. This may be his big learning curve of what it's all about. But if he keeps it up, then he could supersede us.
So what does it...
Sadly, after those two good Heat semi-finals, the Heat final is quite poor, which is a shame considering how entertaining Cedric and Pressure were previously in the Heat. But that doesn't stop this Heat from being an entertaining one. So now we get to the grand final. I love this episode. I will get the negatives out of the way first. Both of Cedric's fights weren't really that good, but Storm 2 puts in the work. First of all, the Eliminator battle between Storm 2 and 4 is easily my favourite fight of the entire tournament, and much like Rhubarb versus Mute, it is such a shame that it's gone so under the radar because the New Blood has this negative reputation. Yeah, the battle is one-sided, but that doesn't change the fact from how entertaining it is. It is one of those fights where, in that despite Storm 2 completely outclassing 4, that doesn't prevent 4 from putting on a great performance, being able to stay in there, trying its damnedest just to cling on. In fact, just the pit drama in this fight is just brilliant. It's a great showcase of how just because a fight is one-sided doesn't make it bad. And it is just a shame that we have to lose 4 at this stage as well. They were just so entertaining in this fight, doing their very best to try and take out the clear tournament favourites. And that grand final fight between Storm 2 and Mute. I know this fight isn't the most popular, but I really, really enjoy it, and it's a great way to end a tournament. It is a brilliantly close fight that really could have gone either way. And, well, that brings the New Blood to a close. Overall, I do not hate this tournament. I can quite safely say it is overhated, in fact. Sure, the quality of robots isn't as good as other tournaments in Extreme 2, such as, say, the All-Stars, but you have to keep in mind, for the most part, these machines were rookies, Roboteers who are relatively new to robot combat, and with that in mind, they put an A-OK show in my book.